Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the latest edition of the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar Podcast, the 5th anniversary season. I'm your host, Jacob Elyachar, Chief Content Producer and writer of jakestake.com, a pop culture entertainment news website. If you're watching this on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. If you're listening to us on any of our audio platforms, please give us a 5-star rating, download this episode and more episodes. I'm so excited to welcome this latest guest today. He is a singer-songwriter, and he has performed at Burning Man, Coachella, the Electric Daisy Carnival, and Glastonbury, and also performed for private parties for HBO and Elon Musk. And also he received Platinum RIAA status for Lana Del Rey's Ultraviolence. So please help me welcome Robbie Fitzsimmons to the podcast.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much, Jacob. Nice to be here.
Nice. It's a pleasure to have you, and Robbie, and thank you so much for taking time in your schedule to chat with me today. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Sounds good.
All right. So, Robbie, when did you get interested in performing, and how did that passion evolve into a desire to pursue a career in the recording industry?
Yeah. So I grew up always sure that I was going to be a musician in the future. I actually, the story goes that I came out humming while I had, just after I had been born. So, yeah, and whenever I was asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? It was always musician. So, so yes, I was always pursuing it. I was always playing instruments. I went to the Berklee College of Music, and then I lived in LA for about 10 years and am now doing it from my home in Santa Cruz, where I live. But yeah, what got me into it was just a natural, ingrained passion, I would say.
That's amazing that you found that passion that's so long.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been my whole life. I'm 37 years old, so that's a pretty long time.
No way, I'm 35.
All right.
And we both
Millennial
look like we're
babies.
not in our 30s.
Yeah, exactly. I think the 30s are the new 20s.
Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. So, who are some of your biggest inspirations that helped shape your sound?
Yeah, I would say I call it my holy trinity of Radiohead, Jeff Buckley, and Bjork. They were huge inspirations. All of them really gave me a platform or permission to pursue my voice the way that I sing, which is not necessarily how you would expect me to sound. I have a very high voice singing. And also, I was very influenced by Cirque du Solei, of all things, and musicals. Um, I've always loved the performance element of those of that music as well. How the two work together, and yeah, I'm also influenced by classical music, Ravel and Debussy, Stravinsky. I'm kind of a big hodgepodge of an amalgamation of many influences, I'd say.
And those are incredible influences. And by the way, one of my all-time favorite things I ever saw was the Beatles' Love from Cirque du Solei.
Yeah, I actually I always appreciated the Beatles, but really fell deep in love with them after I saw that show and kind of went down a Beatles rabbit hole, learning everything I could about them.
I gotta say that's an amazing show, and I need to still see the Michael Jackson Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, I'm very curious what that one's like.
Absolutely. So we're not here to talk about Cirque du Soleil, Robbie. We're here to talk about you. So I gotta say this. So you've performed on some of the biggest stages and music festival stages ever. So Burning Man, Coachella, the Electric Daisy Carnival, Glastonbury. So what were some of your favorite memories performing at these iconic music festivals?
Yeah, I feel very grateful to have had the opportunity to perform at such cool festivals. One of the coolest opportunities I had was at Burning Man. And speaking of Cirque du Soleil, the founder of Cirque du Soleil, a man named Guy Lalimberte, invited a group that I was performing with called Lucent Dossier to create and perform a show at his stage, which was built underneath a 70-foot tall pyramid. So I got to write the music for this show. And when we're talking about this performance, music combination, it was exactly that. It was a dream come true. I got to perform with these incredible physical acts, aerialists, fire spinners, contortionists. And yeah, I'd say that is one of the coolest experiences I've ever had as a performer. Big time.
I gotta say, to be invited by the founder of Cirque du Soleil himself is unbelievable. And were you guys near any in like a 70-foot pyramid? Like, as long as you guys were not near that Burning Man statue, you guys were fine.
Yeah, we had our own fire going inside the pyramid, but we were mostly safe about it.
That's good. That's good. And speaking of performing, how how were you introduced to Lana Del Rey? Because you were on a pretty big record.
Yeah, I actually have on my wall here a platinum record that I legitimately get to have because I co-wrote a song that made it onto her album called Ultraviolence. And this was an opportunity presented to me because I was working with one of her producers, a man named Daniel Heath, who actually produced one of her earliest, maybe her first hit song called Blue Jeans. So I was working as his assistant, and he gave me the opportunity to contribute to this album. I contributed not only in the songwriting, but in some other ways as well. And yeah, I was very grateful for the opportunity.
That must have been amazing to have that to add to that feathering cap because we're talking about four big music festivals. Lana Del Rey's one of Lana Del Rey's most signature songs. And now this, so that must be amazing. And you're and 37, my God, a lot of musicians are in our generation would kill for that.
Yeah. Uh, and I feel like despite all that, I'm still fairly unknown. And a big reason for this is because um, I've been stopping and starting myself a lot. I have struggled with bipolar throughout my life, and I've found that when I'm in a manic episode, I am hyper productive, very aspirational, and when I'm in a depressed episode, I become really reclusive and um, stop participating in music in the same way. So I've now finally been working with medical health care professionals, mental health care professionals, and have found stability in my life for the first time. So I'm actually releasing my debut album right now, which has been a long time coming. I feel like I've been hoarding my music from the world. Um, and so, yeah, I've participated in all those opportunities, and I'm starting my own personal new journey right now.
First of all, I am so proud of you for being able to go through this and go through mental health is so definitely a roller coaster. And guys, if you're watching this or listening to this and you need or new or anyone you know are doing it are dealing with a mental health episode, 988-988. I gotta say, I applaud you, Robbie. It's very difficult. I'm glad you're finally are able to release some music, and and I've listened to some music, and it's amazing.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I want to be very transparent about this journey as well, because I know a lot of people are going through similar journeys or their own journeys. But my album that I'm releasing right now is called Blue Meets Orange, and that is the kind of the marrying of the two sides of myself that have existed because these songs have kind of either been written in one place or the other, the depressed episode or a manic episode. And yeah, I hope to give people solace knowing that they're not alone in their mental health journey.
And I think you're going to inspire a lot of people, Robbie.
Thank you. I hope so.
All right. So I want to talk to you about some of the stories behind your songs, if you don't mind.
Sure.
All right. I want to start with Making Castles. And what was that? I love the track. It was very interesting, fascinating. So what's the story behind Making Castles?
Most of my music comes in a spark of inspiration. For me, always music first. And in this case, the music and lyrics came to me in one burst of a moment, which was while I was riding my scooter through Boston, Massachusetts. And the lyrics and the song, it went, "I'm all alone in the sand making castles, even though I'm a grown man." And so that was the immediate spark of inspiration. It's like, okay, I'm living in my childlike wonder. I want to remind people of embracing their divine child, because I think a lot of people in their adult lives lose track of that. So that was the story behind this song.
It's amazing, and I love that city of Boston. My extended family is from that area.
Oh, nice.
So I gotta say, Boston gives a lot of great inspiration for that, and it's amazing that's amazing. That's a good reminder for us to always listen to our inner child.
Yes, absolutely. The playfulness, the silliness. I think if we lose track of that, life can become too serious, too difficult, actually.
Absolutely, I love "We Are the Watchers." It's a really good song. I love that guitar bass. Oh my God, it was absolutely amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, that's one I'm very proud of as well. Would you like to know the story behind that one?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that I wrote. It was the last song I wrote on the album. I had already decided all the other songs I wanted on the album, and I wanted to create sort of an introduction to this world that I was creating in the album. I also knew that I wanted to call the album Blue Meets Orange. So I wanted to introduce each color and find a way to introduce each color in a way that was accurate to my mental health experience and also in a much grander way. So, so I like to think of myself in this story as the narrator, as specifically being the plants, nature that is all interconnected in this realm and story, and that plants are actually spying on us, spying on the grays, I call them, the people of the world who are oblivious and not paying attention to the color. And then I move kind of backwards in time. The green plants are reminding the grays that before the world was gray, it was green. Before the world was green, it was blue. That I like to think of when the entire planet was covered in an ocean. We're going way back. Then before the world was blue, it was orange. That's even further back. Being bombarded by asteroids and volcanoes. And then before the world was orange, it was black. That's the nothingness before everything. But from this nothingness, from this absence and lack comes the possibility of something. And so it's all sort of a metaphor for the artistic journey.
That's amazing. And that's an amazing journey. I find it very fascinating.
I'm glad you do.
Let's talk about Circles and the story behind that song.
So yeah, this song has been interpreted in a lot of different ways. A lot of people have found it found this song to help them through loss. One of the main lyrics I say in the song is, before you walk away, at least say goodbye. And so a lot of people that feel that, as if they've lost a loved one or a special partner or something. For me, that was my pleading with my muse, sort of saying like, man, like at least let me know if you're going to leave me. This also sort of coincides with like a depressed episode. For depression for me is like the absence of joy towards music. And there's a confusion if that happens. So yes, that was me sort of pleading with my muse.
And you did a really good job pleading with your muse, and the muse did not leave you.
Yeah, exactly. That was part of the song too, is that it's called Circles because it's sort of a reminder that even if it leaves, there's always a belief and a certainty that it will return. That has been my pattern. But same thing, it's like if you're going to leave me, at least let me know, at least say goodbye, and then we can part our ways peacefully. Otherwise, I'm just like lost and alone without the inspiration.
I agree. And finally, Money in Your Pocket.
This song is this is an older song that I used to play with my band called Rabbits Running. We came out from Boston together, me and my mate Darren, who actually got deported back to England while we were kind of an up and coming band, and things felt energetically like they were turning around for us. But that song, again, it started with the music, and what was the inspiration behind it? I suppose just the greediness of the man. We graduated college in the midst of the recession in 2009, and it just felt like there were so many money grubbers at the top who won, and so many people below who were trying to start everything over. And so I think I'm ironically taking the place of those people at the top financially in that song, as sort of a just a way to process and poke fun at them.
I agree. I was actually graduated at the height of the Great Recession as well, so 2011. So that song varies type because the thing is, it was like finding a job. Finding a job at that time was like finding a diamond needle in a golden haystack.
Oh man, lucky us, huh?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Even though it was like at the height of the and then the Great Recession ended in 2012. It was like, oh boy, it was like the rush, the biggest rush ever.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, the one of the plights of being a millennial.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we got to talk about your dream collaborators. Have you thought about any singer, songwriter, musician, or producer, and how would they enhance your sound?
Sure. I've always wanted to work with a producer named John Bryan. He's also a songwriter. He produced a number, maybe two or three of Fiona Apple's first albums. He's got a very magical orchestral modern sound that he contributes to music. He's always been sort of a dream producer I'd love to work with. Um, I'd love to work with Niles Godrich. He's the producer for Radiohead. I think he's got a very keen ear on how to turn songs into greater productions. And then songwriters I'd love to collaborate with, or performers. Bjork, of course. I already talked about Bjork. Tom York from Radiohead. I love Rufus Wainwright. I think he could be a really interesting person to collaborate with. And then if I'm bringing someone back from the dead, I'd love to say that me and Freddie Mercury could do something cool together, or David Bowie. These are, if we're talking about dream collaborators, we're talking about dreams here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And when you said Rufus Wainwright, I immediately was pulled back into watching the Kennedy Center Honors in 2023 when he concluded the Billy Joel tribute and led the crowd with Piano Man and New York State of Mind. I was so captivated.
Yeah, he's definitely one of my favorites for sure.
Absolutely. And also, not to mention Freddie Mercury and David Bowie, you have two different sides of British rock.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I love the weirdness of David Bowie and sort of the orchestral bombasticness of Queen. I actually, when people ask me what my genre is, me and other people who have heard my music have expressed that we don't know how to classify it. It's kind of its own niche. But the best thing I can do is say it's like radio. If Radiohead met Queen, somewhere in the middle of that, this sort of like introspective, orchestral tornado, something or something else.
Oh, yeah. And I can see Creep meets Who Wants to Live Forever.
Yeah, right on. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Or I gotta say, I gotta admit, I'm a huge Radio Gaga fan.
Oh, yes. Yes, are you talking about Talking Heads?
No, the song
Or
Radio Gaga. All we do, Radio Gaga.
right, okay. Isn't that the Talking Heads? Who is that?
No, that's Queen, actually. All we hear is
Oh,
radio.
yes. Okay, of course. I I was thinking of
Yeah,
something else. Yes.
I gotta say, speaking of Queen, I did get to see them with Adam Lambert way back in 20 before the pandemic. It was still probably one of the probably best concerts I've ever seen.
Awesome. Yeah, I haven't seen him perform with them, but I've heard good things. I would love to see it.
Run, don't walk if they come to California.
Okay, deal. Thanks.
All righty, we gotta start winding down our conversation, Robbie. So, what have been some of your favorite platforms that you connect with fans on social media?
So I'm mostly active on Instagram lately. So my Instagram handle is at Robbie by the way, Robbie BTW. So it's as if I'm saying, I'm Robbie, by the way. Robbie, ROBBIE BTW. Same thing for Facebook. I am a little bit sparse on TikTok lately, but I want to get more into it. That one is Robbie.btw. And you can also visit my website, which is robbiefitzsimmons.com.
I totally agree. I'm still trying to figure out the TikTok algorithm myself.
Yeah, all these algorithms are a puzzle.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, last question, are you ready?
Sure.
Besides social media, where can my audience find your music?
Well, I am on YouTube. Does that count as social media?
Oh,
I have.
it does.
Okay, yes. Well, okay. Also on YouTube, I'm Robbie by Robbie BTW. That's a side note. But yes, I'm mostly performing lately in Los Angeles, so you can see me there. I also make appearances at festivals. I'm hoping to get into Lightning in a Bottle this year, which is in California. Electric Forest, which is in Michigan. And yeah, I mean, if you follow me, please keep an eye out. I want to be performing wherever you are as soon as possible.
Awesome. So, guys, how do you miss an episode of the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar podcast? Visit our channels on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, Spotify, and Spreaker. Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar, JACOBELYACHAR. Now, are you on social media? Because I'm on social media too. Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and YouTube. Jacob Elyachar, JACOB ELYACHAR. Want to know who won America's Got Talent Fantasy League? What's going on with the Masked Singer? And kind of read my take on Robbie's music? Head to jake-shake.com. Once again, jake-shake.com. Robbie, thank you so much for taking time on your schedule to visit, and I am so excited to listen to your music, and I believe 2024 is going to be an incredible year for you.
Wow, thank you so much, Jacob. It's been my pleasure.
You're so welcome. And guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, have a great one, everybody. Goodbye.